Our third outstanding alum is from the class of 1970, and it is Tom MacNaughton.
Longtime Adrian resident and now retired Lenawee Department on Aging Director Tom MacNaughton receives the Outstanding Alumni Award for Community Service. A graduate of the class of 1970, Tom's 31-year tenure, 24 years as director with the Department on Aging, changed outreach to the seniors of Lenawee County. He chaired the Older Adult Coalition, bringing together county agencies to promote independence for older adults. Making sure that seniors are treated with dignity and compassion, Tom grew the home-delivered meals, personal care, homemaker and transportation programs, helped establish Daybreak Adult Day services, and the Rake and Run to help older adults maintain their yards with help from volunteers in the fall. An avid runner, Tom estimates that he has logged more than 31,000 miles running various marathons and hundreds of 5K races throughout the country. He is an active member of the Lenawee Running Club, serves on the Hospice of Lenawee Director Bruce Jones Memorial Run Committee, has completed a number of marathons including the Boston and New York City, and is an assistant coach to the Adrian High School cross-country team. He organized the Crop Walk for 20 years and has helped with the Couch Potatoes, a group of runners transitioning from the couch to the trail. He helped to organize the YMCA Splash and Dash and the Art and Soul 5K and many other 5K races. He and his wife Christine host a New Year's Day run for friends, which finishes with a breakfast at their Adrian home. He is a graduate of Defiance College with a Bachelor of Science in Math and Education. His keen sense for math has given him success in many card games of chance, with an ability to count cards at any gambling table he visits. Of course, he counted cards before it was banned in the casinos and no longer practices the strategy. As a youngster, Tom served as Adrian College baseball team's bat boy and played drums in AHS band, where he served as an officer on the band council. He also played tennis. He is an adjunct faculty at Siena Heights University and has taught Introduction to Gerontology and programs for older adults. He has taught Successful Aging in the Lenawee Lifelong Learning Program. He's a board member of the YMCA of Lenawee County and past member of numerous other boards. He is married to Christine, and together they have received the Stubnitz Award and the Laura Haviland Award for commitment to the community.
Congratulations, Tom. Please come forward and accept your award.
Thank you. Thank you. As part of my being the director of the Department on Aging, I was responsible for figuring out who should receive the Laura Haviland Award for outstanding service in the field of human services. And that's not why I received that award. There was 1 year that I wasn't the person responsible. But one of the things that I realized when I was doing that, a lot of times the recipient was more about who nominated you than actually the person receiving the award. And in my case, Marty Schoonover nominated me, and you know, we've been friends since high school, and real good friends the last 35 years. And Marty has been on the Adrian Schools Educational Foundation board for 20 years. So when you get a nomination from a person who's been on the board for 20 years, I mean, what are you going to do? You're not going to say no. So here I am. And I have to say that I just have been blessed to have a life where I could do meaningful work, you know, as just part of my job is to make a difference for people, and that's what I'd want to do anyway. So the 31 years at the Department on Aging were fantastic. We had great staff who really did their job, and the fact that it grew a lot during my tenure made sense. The elderly population is expanding, and we knew that there were more services needed, so it was going to grow. It didn't matter who was there, and the fact that I was there makes it look like I did something good. and I'm glad for that. Part of what happened while I was the director of the Department on Aging, maybe some of you know Whit Hames, but Whit wanted to start a gerontology program at Siena Heights, and didn't have anybody who had a background in it on the faculty. So he called the director of the Department on Aging. He didn't know me, and I said, "Boy, I have a degree in math education. I've never even had a class in gerontology, let alone teach it." And I finally agreed to teach if he would team teach. Well, if you know Whit, that meant that Whit came to the first class for 20 minutes, and then he left, and I was the teacher then. And that led me to real interest in successful aging. And I have this list of elder heroes, people like Jack LaLanne and Art Linkletter and Maggie Kuhn, people who really did amazing things in later life. And so here I am, I'm blessed with this job that enables me to do things that help the elderly, and that's valuable in our society. And then I get to realize how important it is to live life fully, throughout your lifespan. And I got to speak about successful aging quite often. And what I'd like to do is I would write on the blackboard, retirement is not equal to recreation. So anyone going into retirement thinking that, oh boy, now all I do is play golf and have fun with friends, or recreation, I thought that's the wrong thing. So I'm really fortunate now in retirement to be seeking and actually prepared for the possibility of doing things that I think are meaningful. And so being on the Y board I think is an important and good thing, but I can tell you, anyone who's spoken to me in the last year and a half knows that this cross-country team is so much fun, and I really feel fortunate to be involved with that. And I always wanted to be part of cross-country. When I was in high school, I wasn't good enough. It wouldn't have worked. We had really good cross-country teams back then, and I wouldn't have made the team. And then all these years I've been thinking, I really want to be involved with cross-country, but I also worked from 8 to 4:30, so it wasn't going to work out. So I thought, well, how am I going to do it in retirement, because I'll be too old to run? Well, turns out that if you start when you're 29 and you run a couple thousand miles a year, at the time that you're 62, you can still do it. So I'm able to run with the cross-country team. It's been fantastic. It's part of what I think is successful aging for me. I'm just so fortunate to have been put in positions where I can make a difference. My degree in math education means that I student taught my senior year and realized, boy, would I be a really bad teacher. So I ended up taking a civil service exam and working my way into the field of social services, which is where I believe I belonged. Very lucky to have had my life work out this way, and then it's just continuing right on. To be honored as an outstanding alumni from Adrian High School is more than I could ever expect. And I guess what I have to promise is that from this point forward, I will try to earn that honor. Thank you.